Hello everyone, I'm Nawshin, your news correspondent from immigrationquestion.com. This week in immigration news, we ended with a true bombshell. President Trump announced a staggering $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, a move many critics are calling a travel ban in disguise. Alongside that, the administration also unveiled new pathways for the wealthy, a $1 million gold card and a $5 million platinum card granting tax-free U.S. residency to those who can pay the price. Understandably, many immigrants and their families are in a state of anxiety and confusion. So today, instead of letting that tension grow, we're going to replace it with some much-needed clarity and knowledge. I'm honored to be joined by Attorney Naresh M, Gehi, a highly respected immigration attorney who has been featured in major media outlets, including Fox 5 and CNN. Mr. Gehi, welcome. We're so pleased to have you with us today.
It's a pleasure being with you on the show. Let me make a small correction. I've been cited as an expert by Fox 5 News and also by CBS News. And of course, yes, my articles have appeared in different media outlets, tons of them, PEX 11, etc. So, Nawshin, firstly, thank you very much for calling me on your news segment on immigrationquestion.com. Now, let me hit the nail straight on the head. Number one, what I'm seeing in the country is panic attacks. I'm getting calls from everywhere. Who should worry and how do you resolve the issue for the time being? If you are in the US, my first recommendation is for the time being, my first recommendation is do not leave the US. If you're applying for change of status in the US, you don't have to worry about the $100,000 fee. Now, there will be lawsuits coming up, which you're going to see, because the action by the president, it's arbitrary and capricious, which means one cannot just get up in the middle of the night and impose a law. Now, people are panicking, they're coming back to the country. The law is not retroactive, which means if you're going to take a plane and come, you're going to be fine. So you don't have to rush. I mean, this is based upon what I've seen so far as the law is concerned. And besides that, people should start thinking about other avenues other than the H-1B. And I think Nawshin has a lot to talk to me about that.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much again for your time, Mr. Gehi. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you a couple of questions so we could get that clarity we seek. So my first couple of questions will be regarding the immediate impact on immigrants. Okay, so for immigrants already in the US on H-1B visas, how will this $100,000 fee affect renewals, transfers, or changes of employer?
I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. So they should be okay. They should not be kind of panicking way too much at this stage. So they are kind of, not in troubled waters, they're in safe waters. That's the best way to put it. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. If someone is in the middle of their green card process through an H-1B, does this fee disrupt their timeline?
It should not disrupt them because there'll be challenges in the court if that happens based upon retroactivity, which I think, it seems like a slam dunk case if this ever goes to court in terms of people already in the US. So I don't anticipate that to be a problem.
Are spouses and children on H-4 visas affected by this change?
No, they are not. They should be fine and they should not worry at all. They need to just make sure that there are very good lawyers handling their cases. Make sure that the lawyers top of the line and get your green cards out. Bottom line is don't be on an H-1B for too long. Try to get to the point of getting your green card. That's the ideal way of doing things.
All right. So when is the implementation date for this change?
Tonight. That would be 21st. And the exact time is 21st, 12:01 ET. 12:01 a.m. ET on Sunday, September 21st, 2025. So don't panic if you're abroad. You don't have to rush taking the plane. Don't worry about that. People are really in that panic mode. So if you're already stamped, you're good to go, nothing to worry.
Thank you, Mr. Gehi. My next couple of questions will be regarding the financial burden and responsibility of this change. So, will the $100,000 fee come out of the immigrant's pocket, or is the employer legally responsible for paying?
The employer will be responsible. What does this mean in reality to us? In reality, it means that they don't want foreign labor to come to the United States. In the past, they were stopping illegal immigration, as they called it, but now they're putting a full stop even on legal immigration, which I don't think so is right. Because, America is a country that actually kind of gives opportunities to people who are brilliant. And of course, with the wheat, you always get the chaff. But you need to make sure that the wheat is better than the chaff. 95% is wheat, 5% is chaff, because we don't live in a perfect world. We cannot have kind of a perfect H-1B system. But on the whole, even Google has prospered. What else can I tell you? Tesla has prospered with H-1B. How much more proof do our politicians need to show why H-1B is so important? Why I'm a big proponent of H-1B and I support the H-1B program. And I think it is not right for us to have a $100,000 fee imposed upon the new batches that are going to be sponsored very soon. So that's my say so far.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Gehi. If an employer refuses to pay, what options does the immigrant have? Can they switch companies or are they stuck?
So if you're a new kind of person who's going for the H-1B, look for a not-for-profit organization. Secondly, what you can do, think about the O-1 visa. And thirdly, you can think about the EB-1A or the national interest waiver that applies in most countries. But for India, it's very bad because there are major backlogs. But EB-1A should be good, for most countries, so that's how we need to look at the picture.
Okay, great. Are there any exemptions or reduced fees for immigrants working at nonprofits, universities, or research institutions?
What I think is they are not going to be impacted. So I feel that stability is going to be there. I don't see that should be impacted very. Let's see how things play out in the future. I don't think so they will be impacted.
Okay, gotcha. My next couple of questions will be about job security and career choices. So, Mr. Gehi, could this fee make employers more hesitant to sponsor immigrants, leading to job losses or fewer opportunities?
Of course, the economy is going to take a major hit. One thing we all need to understand, people think IT, and all these people are taking away our jobs. The first and the most important thing as Americans, we need to understand. Of course, I'm not saying that exactly everything that is kosher here, but this program has many goods also. We definitely am a big proponent of making sure that Americans should be given priority in jobs. I'm not saying no to that. But in IT, do you know information technology is bigger than the Pacific Ocean? That's the first thing people don't understand about IT. Now, why do I understand IT? It's because I have a background in information technology, in law, and in media studies. IT is bigger than the Pacific Ocean. So when we are hiring people from these foreign countries, a lot of them have skill sets that are not available in the United States. Or if they are available in the United States, our American, people are not equipped with those skills. They have similar skills, but they are different. So an employer cannot wait because an IT projects do not wait for a long time. So if we want to really basically get to the bottom of it, we need to have more schools in America. We need to fund our schools better. After 10 or 15 years, I can understand. But basically just cutting down rampantly is going to be a major, major loss to our economy. So we will not be as progressive as China and as other countries are in terms of technology. Is that helping the United States or is that hurting the United States? The founding fathers of our nations were geniuses, and they knew that if we have to make sure that America is on the forefront of technology, then we need the best brains of the world. This is what H-1B brings to the table.
Thank you, Mr. Gehi. That was very insightful. If someone loses their H-1B job after the fee takes effect, will it be harder for them to find another sponsor?
I think first thing is stick to your jobs. Change your status in the United States, then look for a job. Then you should not be impacted. But my problem is if you leave the country and if you're coming back on a new H-1B, you can anticipate an issue. O visa. And it's very much successful, in the tech sectors, because with other sectors we've seen a lot of issues. And the EB-1A is good for people who have master's degrees or people who have PhDs, I would say, from the US. They should definitely consider the EB-1A. And recently I remember a client of mine was pursuing his PhD and he applied and I think he got through. Yes, he did. So the problem with most people is that, especially people from backlog countries like China and India, they feel that the only way to get through a green card is under the EB-2 and under the EB-3 category. That's a big misnomer. Working with the right professional, working with the right lawyers can actually, help you a lot to take things to the next level for sure. And you may be able to bypass or you may be able to leapfrog to the EB-1A and get your green card. The mistake that people are doing, Nawshin, is that, they're not thinking out of the box. And it's time that people think out of the box. And nothing to panic. If you're in the US, if you have a stamped H-1B, there's nothing to panic. And, I must say that let's see how things are going to go forward, Nawshin. But thank you for taking the time to interview me on immigrationquestion.com, a great platform that I must say is giving us very good news. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.